Netflix's latest family adventure film has a very interesting name. Chupa in Spanish means to suck. Let's see if this movie does just that. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Netflix film Chupa, and that is short for Chupacabra. I don't think they really thought it out that chupa means to suck in Spanish, but all right. But it's short for Chupacabra because that is the main sort of creature in this movie. We'll get to all of that in just a moment, but first let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got tons of great videos on the channel for you to check out if you're interested in movies and TV. I do reviews for all manner of these things, and I try to put something new up just about every day, so lots to check out. Please consider subscribing down below as well. Would love to have you aboard in that capacity. But all right, let's talk about this movie, Chupa. This is, like I said, Netflix's latest family adventure film. And this is about this 13-year-old kid, Alex, who's played by relative newcomer Evan Whitten. I was not familiar with him. He is visiting his family in Mexico, and he gains an unlikely companion when he discovers a young Chupacabra hiding in his grandpa's shed. Grandfather played by Damian Bashir. And to save the mythical creature, Alex and his cousins must embark on a great adventure, including trying to outwit and outrun the people trying to capture the Chupacabra, including Christian Slater, a classic that I have not seen in a couple of years. He pops up, though, randomly in things. So, yeah, I can't say this movie does suck entirely, as the name may indicate. It's okay, though. Nothing about it is relatively new because we've seen these stories. Of course, E.T. is probably the classic in this regard, but this is borrowing from Never-Ending Story, Gremlins, Earth to Echo, The Iron Giant. So this is a story that we've seen a lot of times before, and the most probably disappointing thing about it, well, there's a few things I could say that are disappointing. So I guess we'll start there, and then maybe we'll get to some of the good stuff a little later on. The acting from the kid is okay. He did not blow me away on the screen like some of the children in the other movies I mentioned. Even Super 8 you could throw in there, right? We never really see the creature, I think, in Super 8. But, those kids were really good actors, and I think most, if not all of them, I did not know at the time. Yeah, so not super great there. He's got some okay people around him. Damian Bashir, always good. Although interesting to see him not playing the villain. Like, my most associated character with him is from Weeds. Although he sort of played both sides of the fence in Weeds too, I guess. No spoilers for that show. But yeah, but he was fine, But the script was not very elevated, This is very, very generic stuff. I do think that, for a family film, if you're watching this with smaller children, I would say, probably in the single-digit range, I think it could be enjoyable, and a nice adventure for the family in that regard. But, it's not very well shot, particularly with the action scenes. Some of the other stuff is okay. The conversational scenes with the family and the more emotional stuff, that's all fine. But when it comes to some of the, the rapid action stuff, I think it loses a little bit of steam there. But I would say the most disappointing thing about the movie is that it does not dive into the lore of the Chupacabra. Like, I feel like the one thing that sets this apart from all of those other movies that I mentioned is kind of that mythical legend of the Chupacabra, and how important it is kind of to the Mexican community. I mean, I've watched different documentaries and stuff about the kind of lore behind it and stuff, and it's very interesting. And it reminds me, like, okay, in Gremlins, sure, the Gremlins were made up, but we learned the lore of them, right? And so it would have been nice, and this is a quick movie, it's like 95 minutes, so they could have spent maybe 5 more minutes on the movie to delve a little bit deeper in the mythos of the Chupacabra. I think that is one of the bigger stumbling blocks of the movie. But the quick pace is okay, for young kids watching, certainly. Now, the director of this movie, his name stood out to me immediately because his last name is Cuarón. This is Jonas Cuarón, who I was unfamiliar with, but yes, he is the son of Alfonso Cuarón, who is, a very, very well-respected director, perhaps an Oscar-winning director, I can't remember. But Jonas, it turns out, co-wrote the movie Gravity with his father. So he's been around the block, and in fact, I looked a little bit more into him to see what else he's done. Nothing else I had heard of, but upcoming, he has a movie as part of the Spider-Man universe, starring Bad Bunny. I guess Sony was impressed with Bad Bunny's performance in Bullet Train, so they were like, let's give him his own movie. So he's going to be one of these Spider-Man side characters or something in this movie coming out next year. So, all right, this guy's trying to make a name for himself. I think the action sequences of that Spider-Man spinoff are going to have to be way better than they are here. But again, I think that's for a slightly different audience. I think this is more for a younger audience and, maybe their parents kind of watching together, something to check out on a Saturday afternoon or something. I think it fits the bill for that. But in some aspects, just falling a bit short for sure. Nice to see Christian Slater, though. I'm a fan. I don't think he added really anything. His character was so very generic in this movie. But overall, Chupa, if it's for the right audience, I think you may get a little enjoyment out of it. It's a very cute character, too. That helps as well. I'm going to leave Chupa with a C+. If this was more for adults, the grade would be lower. But I think for a kids and family movie, I think it does okay. So there you go. All right. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It.